I've seen hate about one specific movie from my childhood. You've all been disrespectful to a masterpiece. I got my gavel. It's time we end this. We are here today to prove to you that Spy Kids deserves more recognition than you're giving it. Released in 2001, Spy Kids was directed by Robert Rodriguez. This is the story of two kids who thought their parents were boring until they found out that they were spies, and thus they have to go on their own mission to actually save their parents. This is Spy Kids, and we're here to break it down. Don't forget to click subscribe. Starting off the film, we already have beautiful cinematography mixed with some amazing Latin-inspired background music that Robert Rodriguez uses throughout the movie, which I think gives it an overall cohesive theme. We're then introduced to the two main characters, Carmen and Junie, getting ready for bed. Mom's saying, time to get your ass to bed.
Did you, brush your teeth?
Already did.
And we see Junie putting on some Germex-looking stuff to help his warts.
Okay, warts. Prepare to meet your maker.
Now, out of everything in the movie that could have stood out to me, the two things that I really remember from my childhood is Junie having warts and the thumb-thumbs.
A thumb-thumb. A real life?
Don't know about the thumb-thumbs, we'll get there in a minute, don't worry. I have no idea why that was something that I remembered so much, but it is an integral point to the plot that we will touch on in a little bit. We then get a great way for Carmen's mother, Ingrid, to present a little bit of exposition about how her and the father, Gregorio, met.
Lights out.
Bedtime story first.
There was a man and a woman. Those men and women were spies. He was the assignment that changed her life. She couldn't do it. It was different than she expected.
Right now, Carmen does not know this is a real story about her own parents, but we can kind of tell from the context and the movie we're watching. I need to know where you're getting all them wigs from. Where are you keeping them? Is there a purse that you're carrying around with all them wigs? Like, that's one thing that stood out to me immediately. Here we go again. Nobody noticed this girl literally changing in the middle of a downtown district high-rise building. Like, nobody at all? Okay. Great. But then Gregorio and Ingrid both find out they were each other's targets, causing them to fall in love. And it's like I said, that Mr. and Mrs. Smith kind of love, where it's just like, I love you, order in the court. They go about this super secret dating life where they can't even sit at the same table together. They are at the Eiffel Tower. He slides over the ring to her as a proposal. But then we get to the wedding scene and shit gets real.
Oh yes, on her wedding day, she felt like she would rather brave 1,000 deadly missions.
Like, what did that swan do to you? You can clearly see through it and see that it is of no danger. What are you doing, girl? But I love it. Always stay on your toes. That's what I'd be doing too. Well, like when you accidentally get extra ice out the fridge, you just kind of sleep it under the ice box. Hopefully nobody sees it.
Looked deep into his eyes and said the two most dangerous, most trusting words you can say to anyone.
You sure? No, she said, I do. And then that begins an epic action sequence that is even better than I remember. And it just shows that the effects in this movie, they're just going to keep going up. Then we have this amazing, lovely scene where Gregorio and Ingrid run off together, create a new life. They had the little heart parachutes, which I love so much. And honestly, their chemistry was so strong. It really did like make me believe in love as a child. Though I really shouldn't. I didn't really have any reason to, but
They retired, settled down, had a few kids. In a way, they exchanged one life of adventure for another.
The end.
I don't know how Carmen doesn't know this is about them, though. It just seems like she knows too much details about this for it not to be somebody that she knows, you know?
That life is over now. We are consultants, not spies.
We see a plot twist. The parents are still connected to the spy world with all their spy gadgetry, etc. I always thought this was so cool growing up. I wanted a freaking desk that turned into a giant computer. I wanted to go buy makeup stuff just so I could type on like a keyboard. Like, I thought that was the coolest thing when I was growing up, and you can't tell me otherwise. You know you wanted it too. So then we get a little side exposition here about how Carmen has been skipping school. We also learned that Junie has imaginary friends too.
Any of those school friends Junie talks about having?
Yeah, Diego somebody and Ronaldo.
No such beasts. Turns out the other kids, they pick on him.
So they're setting up this idea here that they're just not popular. They're not the cool kids. Their parents are the cool spies, but they are like the losers, I guess you can kind of say. A great parallel they're creating. But then we get our first hint of something that might be going on.
It doesn't help that he has his head in the clouds. Get these weird drawings and that
Demented Kids Show.
The father Gregorio talks about a demented kids show. Remember that. And even though they're retired, we see that Gregorio...
Speaking of secrets, what are you working on over here?
Nothing.
Still might be up to some spyetry over here. Then we make it to the scene where the kids are outside and they're going on this obstacle course that's obviously been built into their home. You may think that's weird. I actually think it is a brilliant touch to add. A lot of times in movies when people turn into superheroes or spies or something like that, it's so hard to believe they have the talents and the move sets that are necessary for becoming that spy. Do you know what I mean? I feel like in this case, they do such a great job of setting it up to make it believable that Carmen and Junie could have the ability to beat the bad guys in the end of the movie because their parents make them train like this. Junie even says things like, we already go to PE. What's up? Like, what the f are we doing here? Like, that's me, Junie. Hated PE. And if my parents ever made an obstacle course for me and it wasn't even about being a spy, like, I swear to God, emancipation.
Emancipation.
Listen, this is the first time we also see the warts come into play as being a deficit.
I can.
But we also see here that Carmen is that bitch. Carmen is the one that will get things done. She is acrobatic. She is strong, as we'll see. But I feel like this does also show off Junie having some potential skills in the future.
Butterfingers.
Like, damn, Junie, that was hard. Threw a weight at your sister's head like it wasn't about to bust it open. Like, what are you doing? Buddy, that's illegal. But that was a good throw. It shows us in the future he might be good at that. We learned that there are some agents missing from the OSS, which we haven't talked about yet, but that is the Organization of Super Spies. We'll talk more about that a little bit, but we're about to get our first preview into Floop's Fooglies, and boy, are you in for a visual treat.
Now return to Floop's Fooglies.
Then we start to see, like, Floop doesn't look bad. He's telling you to believe in yourself.
Whatever you do, believe in yourself. Dreams will come true. For you, and you, and you.
But then one of my favorite iconic scenes comes up is the mimicking scene.
What's this supposed to be, a self-portrait? What's this supposed to be, a self-portrait? Mommy's mimicking me! Mommy's mimicking me!
Carmen, leave your brother alone.
Junie?
Iconic. That was always would be in the commercials.
Between driving the kids to school.
Mommy's mimicking me!
But we also see that Junie drew a Foogly, and keep that Foogly in mind because it will come in handy later.
I designed it myself.
Gregorio grabs a tablet and says, wait, let me see what this shit's about.
Because today, we have a new character.
Oh, missing agent, new character, photo. It's him. So we start to get a little suspicious that this is something not right about Floop and his gang. Gang. Like, okay, the CGI of Floop's Fooglies, it's not the best, but it's the world that he created, and when you see the machine he uses, it makes sense why they look so in the uncanny valley. And if that's the reason that you think this is a bad movie, you're wrong. And you're dumb. It truly brings the innocence of childhood to the adult's world, and you can see the struggle of an adult trying to live out his childhood dreams of being famous. We also get here another theme that's presented, which is what is so special about being a Cortez?
Anybody gives you a hard time in there, remember, you are a Cortez.
What's so special about being a Cortez?
Lots of things.
At this point, they don't know they're spies, and we hear that question a lot, and I'm sure it's to really validate at the end that being a Cortez is pretty badass, Junie, okay? After wondering what's so special about being Cortez, we see Junie get into like a little fight with another student, and Gregorio comes out to take care of it. But we see the student's father is actually a lot bigger, which triggers a scenario in Gregorio's head where he can show to Junie that the Cortezes are actually amazing.
Have a good day, son. Can I help you with something?
He takes that guy, he throws that bitch right across the schoolyard into a window. Everybody's cheering. He's the hero. But it's a dream. He ain't did none of that for real.
I didn't think so.
So then we hear it again. We see Junie and Carmen have to share a room, and they already like brother, sister, you know, fight type stuff.
Share a room with him because he's so afraid of being alone. Watch out for Junie. Take care of Junie.
But that triggers another time for Junie to say, what's so special
about being a Cortez?
Like I said, this is presenting the problem.
I wish I could go away to your world, Floop. You'd be my friend.
And the foreshadowing. I wish I could go away to your world, Floop.
You'd be my friend.
So then we go to Floop's castle, and F y'all,
That castle is bomb.
that is a nice castle. I don't know what y'all talk about.
It's good.
So we go in through the window. We see Floop is having a board meeting with all of the investors about the Floops. They want them to be used for evil, but we hear here
Mutative process and brain wipe cause their minds to turn to mush.
that becomes an important part as well. So then we see the thumbs that are very capable robots. I love these things so much because they were just so goofy. They looked goofy and they acted goofy. They were there just to be funny, which they were. But then we see that Floop and Minion, played by famous monk actor Tony Shalhoub, who does appear in the second and the third movies, but they have presented a brand new form of clone.
Awesome power will emerge in exactly 10, 7, 5, 3, 1. Johnny?
A spy kid.
Whoa, shocker.
Spy kids did not just come because Junie and Carmen were good and spies. Spy kids were actually originally the evil ones.
You hesitate.
I had to. He's my son.
Sure.
They were clones created of
President's daughter?
etc., in order to develop an army to take over the world. Okay? So Spy Kids, which we thought were always a part of the OSS, actually started with more sinister thoughts. I really love the director too, using angles that make things more dramatic. And we see the scene shot from up, showing how grand it is, how big the scope is. And we learn the technology they're using is called physioelectric imaging.
Rolled into tiny packages I call Spy Kids.
It sounds fancy. But my favorite part is that the Spy Kids can't speak yet.
Tell me, Spy Kids, your vast stores of knowledge.
That's the whole thing. They don't have brains. That's the whole point of the plot of this. That when they speak gibberish, I remember being taken the F out when I was a kid, and still as an adult, like... Literally, is this Animal Crossing? Like, what are we doing here? But then we also learn the Spy Kids, like I said, are not fully functional yet. That's their next plan.
These buckets of bolts will never pass as children!
So we then find out that Gregorio is going back on another spy mission because the people keep disappearing. Ingrid, not too happy about it, says she's going with him. Gregorio says no, but Ingrid has her ways. And I'm wondering why this was in a children's movie.
Ingrid. What about the children?
You can see her hand going down and doing some things to get her away. Listen, Ingrid, get you going, get your bag, get your man, get what you need to do, and get it done, sis. And then we realize that Cheech is going to be babysitting the kids while they're gone, Uncle Felix. Mom and Dad pop up looking so good, looking like they're out the Matrix with this body-hugging leather. They got the mustache, they got the hair slicked back. Like, they look good. Like, you look good, Mom and Dad. You better get them. That car, too, is so fancy. This car literally looks like a 2021, like, Land Rover or something like that, which makes me so confused because why didn't we have those sooner? Okay, hello, push to open door. Here we meet Miss Gradinko.
Well, it's good to hear those names again.
Good evening, Miss Gradenko.
Hello, Greg.
Supposedly part of the OSS here trying to help out, but we don't know. Something about her feels a little fishy. This is when the CGI starts to get just a little weird. But listen, this is 2001. The biggest movie of the year was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So, I mean, those graphics were amazing. Second highest selling movie was Shrek, which is all animated. Like, for that time, this was definitely not bad. I love the way this looked, and it was very believable to me. But as they're in the water, they start picking up a mysterious signal from Floop.
Believe in yourself.
Picking up a TV set?
And you, Gregorio and Ingrid Cortez. I believe you have something that I want.
He called y'all by name, okay? After a short little sequence, the parents are captured.
They got us.
Y'all a little rusty. Y'all should have definitely done a little bit more training. I feel like Junie and Carmen did more training in the backyard obstacle course than y'all did, which y'all needed, obviously, to do. Oh no, here we go. We see the first inclination that something is not right about this family. The alarms start going off, everything around the house starts beeping. We find out Uncle Felix ain't really their uncle.
Felix!
I'm not your uncle.
Shocker, shocker, shocker. We then learn their parents are in fact spies, and they are in fact cool enough.
My parents can't be spies. They're not cool enough. That's cool.
I'll be right back.
And if you're not?
Hit the blue button to seal the door and the green button to go.
That's very important. Thank gosh Carmen asked what to do because Felix ain't coming back. I always thought this was so cool growing up. I was like, I low-key thought my parents were spies. You know, everybody, we either A, thought we were going to get our witch powers at 16 like Sabrina, or Harry Potter a little younger. We thought our parents were spies. They were just trying to hide it from us. Like, there's so many things we all thought when we were little, and this just feeds into it. Looking at it now, it's like, how did he know to talk to that screen? But to me, it's like, maybe the screen lit up and was like incoming communication. Something like that. So we'll give that the benefit of the doubt. But we hear a very important phrase. Here, the third brain lives. Keep that in mind. That is important and what the bad guys want. Oh, and the thumbmen back there fighting too. I kind of love the thumbmen in all black. Okay, Thummy.
You working it.
Here's the green button.
Junie almost slings his damn sister out of the slinging out of the submarine because he did not listen to simple directions. Blue button, green button. It's fine. And to be honest with you guys, just to give a little context too, I grew up as a young redhead with 2 older sisters. So that is how I was able to see myself in Junie. Could definitely see the resemblance, see how the brother-sister relationship could really be.
Where's the gas pedal? No, don't touch anything! It's in manual!
Damn Junie messing with buttons again. They are on this fight on the water against the thumbs. Junie starts pressing buttons and switches them into manual. But thank goodness, Carmen knows what she's doing. Literally, where in the world is Carmen? She's here, girl. She's right here and ready to save the day. I mean, maybe the submarine was built in with some hydraulics, able to give it a little bit of lift just in case you may come across a stranger in a boat. It makes sense to me. Don't think too hard about it. Luckily, Junie's little foot there helped them get out of the situation and they killed all the Thumb-Thumbs. The Thumb-Thumbs are dead. Children's movie is fine. We need to learn death is a thing. So don't worry about that either. We learn also that Junie gets warts because he's shaken because he is a very nervous and scared person always, which also plays into the fact that he is now a spy.
Stop shaking. I can't. Stop shaking or you'll give yourself more warts.
So how is that fear inside of him going to be overcome, help out in the long run? It's a great character arc, I think, that we explore for both Carmen and Junie, and I really love to see their development over the period of the movie. Even though it's happened so quickly, you truly do believe that there was growth. Here goes Junie again touching buttons and shit. This time it works out. We get a nice panoramic view. We get to look at the ocean. It's like we get a free trip to the aquarium. That's fine and dandy until... Sharks, bitch! Run, bitch! It's
Jaws, okay?
I mean, like, honestly, like, you're good in the submarine. The sharks aren't gonna get you, but Carmen does the amazing sister thing of being like,
Junie, close your eyes. Just keep them shut, all right? Hey, you can open your eyes now. Thanks. Just don't want you crying all over me.
you know how you have to act tough a little bit? I just didn't want your tears everywhere. It's like, no, you truly love him, and I love that. We have a nice little montage here showing everything that you can do in the submarine. Carmen sleeps through it all. Junie, of course, finds every feature.
Now flushing your poop.
Yeah.
We now join the parents to see that they are being brought into the Floop dungeon, I guess you can kind of call it, where all the characters are stored. We also see that Gregorio gave over the picture that Junie was drawing. It'll come in handy. They have so many fun little jokes in here that are just hilarious to me, still to this day.
Did you lock it? Yep.
Like, this shit is still so funny. We're about to get down to my favorite part of the movie, I think, which is the safe house. This is another part that I embedded in my memory. Okay, McDonald's, you'll see. I've always wanted this.
That's a safe house? Looks more like an outhouse.
And we see here that Carmen's full name is the password.
Your name? Carmen Cortez?
Your full name.
I don't use my full name. It's too long.
Your full name.
Carmen Elizabeth Juanita Ecosca Brava Cortez. My name's a passcode?
Which I love too, because that is a little bit more of that Spanish reference, Spanish culture too. The architecture of the buildings, the sound of the background music, the family bond and stuff like that too. It is so rich in Spanish culture, and I'm so glad that they got to do this and they did not whitewash it. Cause like,
that's what they do.
That's what they do, is they just whitewash it, and I'm so glad that Robert Rodriguez stuck to his ground here, because I think this is what makes it such a good movie. I don't think it'd be good with a bunch of white people, honestly. We get confused because Carmen's like, how is this a safe house? Until...
There's nothing to eat. From every country.
Ballin'. Girl, you got that money. Oh, he got money. He got money in every currency. Okay. She rich, but wait till you see what she does with that money. It's so stupid. The moment I've been waiting for to talk about, this is the iconic moment that stuck with me through life. McDonald's in 20 seconds in the microwave. Y'all, if you don't remember this, then like, you obviously didn't watch Spy Kids. Because if you watch Spy Kids, promise you remember this. Here we learn this little weird thing.
Stop worrying about the children.
They still wear diapers.
Only one is in diapers and only at night. It's not that unusual, okay?
That one of the kids still sleeps in diapers. And that's weird to say that, but it'll come up in the future. Honestly, the parents' chemistry is impeccable. Their bond together makes it so believable, and like, it really made me believe that they were married in real life. Like, whenever I was a child and watching this, I was like, there's no way they're not really related, or they're not really married.
An hour ago, you seemed pretty happy to be back in the game.
Because they just can riff off of each other so well. And then, like, obviously, Ingrid got the ideas. Like, Ingrid is always a smart one.
She's still got it.
How do you do that? How do you do that? Hey.
We also have this iconic scene, which will play another role in the future, but adds to the comedy of the ship.
Okay, come on.
Very clever.
Very clever. We then get our first look at the virtual room, which I also was obsessed with when I was younger, imagining all the possibilities of all the places that I could be in this virtual world. And I remember vividly this looking so freaking real. I will say, growing up, I can see the green screen outlines and things of that nature now, but bitch, it was good, okay, for the time. We then see Floop letting the parents escape and then bringing them in to dinner to ultimately feed them the master plan.
Your children will be joining us soon.
Careful!
I snap my fingers. And my fingers snap you.
I snap my fingers and my fingers snap you, bitch.
Don't make me snap my fingers.
It's like, that is the line. That's the line. That's the line. But then the thumb screws up the entire intensity by falling. Which, like I said, is one of my favorite things in this movie, is that the thumbs are not consistent, but it's okay because they're just dumb clones. We then learn that Floop is searching for a synthetic intelligence to give to the spy kids in order to really make them the super spies that can take over the world, right?
Compendium of spy knowledge, if you will.
Plot twist.
There was someone else on that research team.
We then learn that actually Gregorio was part of that intelligence along with Uncle Felix. So, because Felix was involved too, he got to get flooped. The kids are now starting to strap up and get ready. And it's things like this, I feel like that first, 34 minutes so far has really built up the fact that these kids are intelligent. They were secretly being trained by their parents in ways that they didn't know. So it's believable to me that they can just pick up on this stuff. Junie, on the other hand, is perfect because he's trying and not really succeeding, whereas Carmen is the one that's taking the lead.
Ew, gross. What do you see? You.
Very funny.
Like, burn, bitch. How does that feel, Carmen? Y'all are about to, lose your life with your parents and everything, and he still found time to burn your ass. How's that feel? The kids then learn the spy story, surprise, was about their parents. We see our first picture of Machete, and that starts our next plot mission. Junie's dumbass handcuffs himself to a box. Will it come in handy? Who knows? Dumb bitch. We get Miss Gradnico?
Hi, I'm Miss Gradenko.
I don't know. In here, acting like she's a good guy.
I have a key. You see? We're all on the same side.
Telling us a little bit more about OSS.
OSS, you work with my parents?
Yes.
And seeking a final message from Gregorio.
Your father was able to send one last communique this morning. FLOOP.
And this is the shit that gets me going. Not only did this villain have all of these secret agent prisoners, he was taking them, turning them into floops, and then in the frickin' theme song, let them scream and cry for help and just turn that shit reversed.
That cute little tuneless song the characters sing. Play it backwards.
We're trapped! Loop is a madman, help us, save us! Loop is a madman, help us, save us!
Supervillains nowadays would never. They were just ambitious. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give an F when it came to this. They were like, catch me if you can, hoes.
The third brain lives.
We then learn that the third brain lives was the message. They gave it to Miss Gradnico? Whatever her name is. Then she gives Carmen a bracelet, which we think is good. She's officially part of the OSS. Good job, girl. Conveniently, Junie lifts a picture up, the third brain appears, and we notice that Thumbs and Ms. Gradnico are not good people.
Oh no! That's what Floop wants? Carmen! She's working for Floop. Don't move!
You don't even know what those things are.
I know they're heavy.
It's my favorite part. She said, I know they heavy, bitch. Oh, Carmen. Teaching you women's power. Teaching you never let somebody tell you you can't do something. Then, one of my biggest fears as a child came true in that movie. Carmen jumps directly over the turning fan. Can't say as much about that agent. So the thumbs come in, everybody starts grabbing jetpacks, shit's about to get popping off.
You little brat!
Sorry.
And Junie learns his strength. You know, he actually starts fighting at Miss Gradico and kicks her over. And he's like, man, damn, maybe I'm stronger than I thought. All of these series of incidents happen to let Junie get an escape plan, which I think is literally his thing. You know what I mean? Everybody could say, oh, well, how convenient. But if you watch the rest of the movie, every single thing that Junie has done wrong has helped them in the long run. So why would this be any different? Then he said, bad hair day, bitch. He catches this girl's hair on fire. Like, how are you not dying right now? That is a full-fledged fire on your forehead, bitch. You deserve it, though, ho. Don't try to mess with the Cortez.
What? Where did you go? I'm right behind you. Where are you? I'm toast.
We then see Carmen go on this amazing air chase, causing some of the other spies to fly into the Fugly's billboard here, which is a little ironic because they're the ones ultimately taking him out, but we got Junie still stuck back at the safe house.
Oh, my sister! Oh, brother!
Just kidding, Carmen got you, bitch. Don't worry. Carmen always comes through. We then see the warped slipperiness theme happen again, where thank God Carmen is fast enough to actually catch that boy. My favorite part too is that she just drops him off at that store. Not even just sets him down gently, she throws that bitch into the sale section. I get it, he's looking for deals, but Carmen's smart. Carmen came through at the end with a foolproof plan to fool the dumb thumb-thumbs. The dumb-thumbs. The dumb-thumbs. The dumb-dum. The dumb-dum. Competition, why yes, I would love some, said Carmen. And then Carmen goes and hugs this random ass lady too. She's just like, okay, hello, new daughter. Yeah, I'd never noticed that. We then see the famous Floop theme song, which once again has this touch of Uncanny Valley into CGI that actually looks pretty good. And I think that is the exact thing of the 2000s, early 2000s, is that we weren't quite there yet, but we still made it work with what we got, y'all. And that shit was a bop. That song is a bop. Let's not even play like it's not a bop. Alan Cumming, when are we releasing the album? Give it to me now.
Dream my dream, you can have it all with me. Dream my dream, you can.
So here we see that Floop is really more concerned with his program going #1 versus, you know, taking over the world.
My show! It needs something.
Floop, you're spending too much time on this program when you should be more concerned with our grand diabolical plan.
Syndication?
We then see that Minion is the one that has been pushing this agenda a little too hard. Okay, Minion, stick to your job, Minion. Like, what are you doing? Flop? I mean, if the name fits, honey. So then Floop and Minion find out that Junie and Carmen have actually escaped from the thumbs. And they got the third brain because Carmen had to be that bitch to go and get it. So they were like,
if you want to find a child, send a child.
We have this obvious Junie Carmen clones from the back. I don't know why they didn't show their faces in this shot. Because it's this weird thought. It's like, is that really them? I don't know. But they send them. And I do want to say too, all of this like creepiness and eeriness is very, very common for back in this day. You can think of cartoons like Courage the Cowardly Dog, etc., where things that were creepy were normal. We then see Carmen and Junie in San Diablo, which I'm guessing is a play on words for San Diego, hanging out in the park, figuring out their next moves. What's the next moves, boss?
Some locating device.
It then clicks to Carmen that this was all done by Machete Products and is probably the best they find out who Machete is. But then Junie's dumb ass over here about to break the third brain. What are you doing, Junie?
Bargaining chip on getting mom and dad back.
Like, do you not remember how Carmen risked her life for this third brain? Going against all those secret agents? Flying on a jetpack she's never done before? And you about to just break that bitch, Junie? Come on. June, no.
Why are you still wearing that? That could be a tracer.
But Junie was right, bitch.
The booger was right.
That's a tracker up in there, Carmen. Listen to your brother.
Pointing fingers at me. I didn't do anything stupid.
He may not be the smartest, he may not be the strongest, but he got some ideas. Animal Crossing, Junie comes up and starts talking to Carmen.
Why are you dressed like a geek?
And she realizes, wait, something ain't right here, and the fight starts. So clone Carmen over here throwing Junie on this little spinny thing, and boy, he in for a ride. That girl threw him across the playground. Where are the parents? Why are no parents concerned about the super strength of this spy? I don't know. But Carmen, you need to learn, stop hitting it. It's made of steel, girl. Don't use your head. Use your brain. Unfortunately, the clone kids got the brain. They deuced out, flew off with their shoes, and now the kids got to go figure out what to do next.
¡Yo quiero unos zapatos como esos!
I love how they have a little bit of Spanish in here too. He's like, I want shoes like that. And I love how all the other kids from the park come up there. Is like, wait, how did bitch had it going so fast? Wait, mom, I want to do it. I want to do it. Why have I never noticed that? This is my third time watching this movie in the last week or two, and I've never even noticed that. We learned that Spy Kids get their own memorabilia collector number. So that was number 1 of 500. Letting them know there's a lot more, bitch.
Floops can have hundreds of these things flying around. Their brain makes them smart. They're building an army.
We then learn a little bit more about the background of the third brain from Gregorio's memories of working on it.
Why keep that a secret from me? To protect us from something you destroyed? Or something you didn't?
Aha, he never destroyed the brain. He took it. He took it. Why would you take it? This is what... If you would have just destroyed that brain like a walnut, like you do with that walnut, a chestnut, whatever kind of nut that is, all this would have been fine. Y'all could have just been chilling, your kids going to school, and nothing happening.
All these secrets from me, from the children, it has to stop.
Ingrid said it gotta stop. Gregoria said, okay, I'm sorry. She said, you good, you good. That's very important. I do not know how I would take that. Finding out all these secrets have been kept from me for decades. Like, what the
So what in the world do we do?
I thought you loved me. I thought we were here for each other. Like, we were already hiding the idea that we were secret spies together. Why couldn't you just tell me this part?
This is all we got.
And that's what I'm talking about. This dumb bitch gave all the money to the taxi man. Taxi man, you know what though? You deserve it. Go have your day. Go to the conversion bank area. Get that coin. You deserve it. Carmen, you're dumb though. That's all your money.
What are you working on?
World's smallest camera.
And I love how back in the day too, we would just be so susceptible. He'd be like, the world's smallest camera. Turn his finger around and we're like, oh my God, where's it at? How did he do that?
I don't see it.
But it sees you.
Y'all, they made him believable with the screen pointing back at Junie. I believe there was a camera there. I can't lie to y'all. It had me entrenched in this world, okay? And that's the point of a movie.
Who are you?
Carmen Elizabeth Juanita Ecosca Brava Cortez.
Never want to hear my brother's name mentioned again.
You're our uncle? A real uncle? 'Cause we already got a fake uncle.
So we learn here that Machete is actually the real uncle. Now it's up to the kids to get Machete on their side. So then we have a moment where Floop is finally breaking down his walls and realizing, I never wanted to do this for the army. I wanted to do this for the TV show. And Minion was the one that was kind of low-key behind it. Well, let's see if Minion got something to say.
But you see, I now have the third brain. I don't need you anymore.
Minion?
I assure you it's Mr. Minion now. And you, Floop, have served your purpose. Lock him in the virtual room.
Dun dun dun. He went from Minion to Mr. Minion. That is what the evil people do. They put the Mr. all of a sudden, you're evil. But he flipped on Floop, and Floop got flipped. Now flipped is So we learned that Gregorio and Machete don't really have the best relationship ever. Machete don't even care his brother is being taken hostage. He's like, I'm not gonna go.
I don't see why you won't help him.
You think I want to babysit my brother the rest of my life? Watch out for Gregorio. Take care of Gregorio. Watch out for Gregorio. Take care of Gregorio. Machete's not responsible for nobody but Machete.
But maybe I could teach y'all how to do this in the morning or something like that. But you know Carmen and Junie don't listen too well.
Ready? Let's go.
And as soon as Machete goes to sleep, after feeling a little guilty from Carmen's little pre-sleep speech, the kids escape.
Never sent an adult to do a kid's job.
That is like the theme, the slogan of the series, which is true because a lot of these jobs are involving kid stuff. If you guys want me to go over Spy Kids 2 and 3, we could talk about it. Because honestly, I love Spy Kids 3 so much. And I know that people hate it, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So the kids are on the way to the castle in the helicopter after running away from Machete. During this time, there are being more brains cloned for the Spy Kids. So this isn't looking too good for our main characters here. Let's see what happens.
I didn't do anything. Airspeed, fine. Altitude, fine. Autopilot, failing. You were supposed to read all the instructions.
So we have this moment here where Junie and Carmen are bickering, name calling back and forth, and we find out the point of the diapers.
Mommy warthog. Sure I do, diaper lady. I hope you're wearing one now. How long have you known? Since forever.
I don't really know why this was a part of the storyline, but it did make its way into the ending of the movie here. But maybe it's just that we think that Carmen is the strongest one, the one that can get through everything. But that little flip of the stereotype, Junie may wear the warp band-aids, but Carmen has to sleep in diapers, shows that she is still a child as well, which I think is really important to remember that they're kids and they will make mistakes. I don't know. But girl, what's a bed? That causes the plane to crash. Good job, Carmen. You let your anger get the best of you. These kids are flying with no wings. wings. They're literally flying with no wings at this point. I'm a nervous wreck. Landing gear, gone. Luckily, before their demise, they drop out of that helicopter and into the water right in front of the castle they intended to go to. Congratulations, kids. It worked out for ya. We now find the kids in a pit of sleeping sharks. Luckily, Carmen has done a project on sleeping sharks, so she knows
At depths where the water salinization's just right, they gather to sleep. I bet they're guarding the way in.
Thank God. I wouldn't really trust y'all normally because you're being mighty loud right now. I know that you're not supposed to wake the sharks up or whatever, but like...
You're not a man yet. You might think you're an oversized guppy and gobble you up.
Carmen, you're explaining the point loudly. And we have one more little sly dig before her brother ultimately almost dies from a shark bite. Carmen then takes a photo and develops it underwater. Spy technology, don't at me. It's real. To fool the security systems. Brilliant plan. And Junie, of course, has to pee. This is the child part coming into play. That was the adult part hacking the camera. But now that Junie has to pee, Carmen says,
Don't pee. They'll change the water salinization and wake up all the sharks.
Junie, hold it. And he's like, the more I think about holding it, the more I gotta go.
So what do you think's gonna happen?
We see there's a neon yellow colored pee next to the shark just to indicate that it was urine. Just as predicted, the shark smells pee. He ain't too happy.
I'll never pee again.
His final words. No. So they made it past the sharks. We're now in here to get an update on the Spy Kids' new brain installations. This is like the new iPhones. It's like we're waiting to see the prototype, honey.
Show me the final product.
And now for some of my favorite spy tech, electric bubblegum, baby. Chew it up, spit it out, shock them all, watch them drown. You know what I mean? Just like knock them out. I love that Carmen over here came with the shits. She didn't come unprepared.
Machete's electro shotgun balls. Says long lasting.
And that's what this dream team needs, is a Junie to make mistakes that ends up helping them, and Carmen to be the real smart one to try to help out.
But I don't trust rappers.
And this joke here too, I don't trust rappers. What does that mean? Whenever I heard it, I was like, are you talking about like rappers, like hip hop artists or what? I know it means that rapper, but the way that it was said, it just implies something. I don't know. And of course, Junie over here doing something. Carmen's like,
What are you doing?
Junie's being smart and putting cameras around all of the hallways.
The world's smallest violin.
So Junie drops down to meet the Fugleys and uses a little translator thing here. He's gonna go play it in reverse and see.
Where's my mom and dad? Thanks.
I kind of love that though. I've always loved like the idea that they speak in reverse.
They're in the dungeon. They're in the dungeon. Hurry.
But like nobody, I guess, no secret agents, no government officials, TV, FCC, or nobody decided to play it backwards, you know, just to see that they were screaming for help.
See if they know where the brain room is.
Gotcha, bitch, you've been fingered. But then once again, to bring out the rest of the electroshock technology, we have electroshock bubbles, which when it pops, bitch, if you're in the vicinity, you're getting the shock. And that's, convenient. And then one of my favorite additions here too, he tells him thanks in Fugalese, which is English backwards. Skinnat for watching, everyone. So these bitches try to blend in with the Spy Kids and try to infiltrate the system. That shit does not work. They are literally called out immediately by all the Spy Kids. They said, one of these things is not like the other. At least wear the costumes, y'all. Uh-oh, we are given the puzzle floor again, and we're thinking to ourselves, girl, just jump over it, run over it, it's fine. Gotcha, bitch. Why is it this one that's real? She falls in that hole. That is Luke Skywalker in there falling down, and for some reason she's gonna survive. That's a big hole. What? I don't get it. So Junie sneaks into the virtual room and finds Floop in there, and Floop is immediately like, bitch, what's on your fingers? It's like, can you even ask my name first? This is a little rude. Why are you gonna put my warts out first, bitch? But he says,
you there, what's that on your hands?
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine.
Sweaty fingers cause warts. Sweaty fingers come from fear. And Floop is like, I mean, you don't look scared. And he said, bitch, because I'm mad.
That's because I'm mad.
Okay, you got my parents. And that is the ultimate dichotomy of Junie's fear and anger mixing together to make him the ultimate Spy Kid. And Floop then sees that Junie is a true fan and was doing it because he really enjoyed the show and really enjoyed Floop too.
You watch my show.
More than you know.
And that helps influence Floop to try to get them out of there, because that's all Floop ultimately wanted. Fans to watch a show. He didn't want this whole world destruction bullshit. That was Minion. Goddamn Minions.
Until I noticed he was trying to inject his own ideas into the system. He was thrown out of the OSS.
Plot twist, we learned Minion was also working on
the brain.
So that's where he knows how to do this and stuff from and knew who to find. He brings out the photo that Junie drew, which I told you would come in handy again, because Gregorio, that's your new self-portrait. So then we see the Thumb Factory and the random ass thumb nurse that's here to help. She got the long painted fingernail. She got I don't know, a chest. I don't understand the point of this. I'm just gonna go with the laugh factor that hopefully people will laugh from it, but it kind of creeps me out a little bit. And then we see Miss Granico looking like the Rugrats. Bitch, your hair is burnt off. You didn't even try to put a wig on. You tried to style it, but bitch, that is not a style. I'm sorry, girl. That look is not working for nobody. Not even the thumbs. And then even in all of this, Junie is trying to figure out a plan, and Floop, all he cares about is how his show is, what he can add to his show to make it better. It's like, Floop, worry about the other things. But Junie got a plan up his sleeve. Cue that electric bubble gum again.
So I'm gonna help you, then you're gonna help me. Hold still.
So they are able to escape, and Junie tells Floop the one thing his show truly needs.
It needs children.
I wonder where we can get some children from. Junie tries to be that badass boy now. This one's for my sister. And go for the finger, the thumb, but surprise, that is your sister. So Floop takes the kids down to the basement area to rescue the parents. They see that Gregorio has been turned.
It's Dad.
Then my favorite part is literally Carmen pulls out an acid crayon. An acid crayon just chilling in her pouch that can only be activated, I guess, when drawing with it, because it's like, out of all that crap that you've been through, there was not a time that the tip of the color touched something and just acid drip. Anyway, still badass, okay? Still badass. They try to have this little family conversation about, I'm sorry for everything that's happened in the past. Carmen pops up with this.
We'll talk about it when we get home.
Running off to Belize.
What? You went where?
You're right, let's just talk about this when we get home.
No.
But we learned that the reason that Carmen was running away is because...
Is that what you want to be? Free from your family? Hey!
Used to. Not anymore.
Because we're all spies now. I found out y'all are cool. Now why would I want to go anywhere? I only want to go somewhere before y'all were spies. So Floop comes to save the day.
You turned my dad into a foobly?
No, I didn't, but I might be able to change him back.
And now we're back to Minion, who's about to have the big meeting with the board to show off the new smart spy kids. So then Junie uses his amazing mimicking skills from earlier to lure Minion back into the transformation room.
This is Floop. Please report to the robotics lab at once.
I thought you said Floop wasn't here.
He's not. Floop, where are you?
Behind you.
You're supposed to be in line with the others. You're supposed to be in line with the others. Stop that this instant. Stop that this instant.
Or what?
I love this scene too because all of them pop up one at a time.
Clever boy, you've got there, Cortez.
He gets that from his mother.
Can I offer some sort of truce in exchange for your daughter?
Spoken for.
There you are. Didn't see you. Didn't see it.
The perfect comedic timing of it all is in that scene. Gregory beats the shit out of that clay. It makes it look kind of cool though, at least. And it's transformation time, baby. Thanks, Floop. They are now trying to go and destroy these spy kids. Floop is not being a great influence or positive person for them. Definitely bringing the mood down a little, Floopy.
Come on! Have to keep the army from leaving the castle. Our only chance is to get to the control room and hope that their missions have not been programmed.
And what if they have?
Then there's no one on Earth who can stop them.
Also, the clones take the parents and lock them up once again. This is the theme where the kids are the ones saving the day and the parents are the ones that keep getting locked up. Robert Rodriguez said in the beginning, this was meant to be a kid's movie. Antonio Banderas even said that Junie and Carmen were the stars of this movie and they were just the background actors.
Where's Mom and Dad? Your doppelgangers have them.
Can you shut them down from here?
It's too late.
I love how it says too late, too. Bitch, too late. But of course, Carmen knows the intricate workings of binary and knows that if you switch the zeros and ones, maybe that could help.
We can't just take 500 brains out.
So don't. Just reprogram it.
That would take weeks.
Just 2 words.
Binary switch, of course.
I love, too, how Miss Granico calls him Mr. Lisp.
Have a seat, Mr. Lisp.
It's Lisp.
Thinking that Lisp is just he has a lisp and he's saying Lisp. With that, it did not catch that one until too late. Then we have our ultimate showdown. Humans versus clones. Who will win?
Okay.
And then my favorite line of the entire movie, the most iconic line is uttered.
Oh shit, taki mushrooms.
Oh, shiitake mushrooms. So kids start fighting. Parents start escaping. Damn, bitch, that's a nice wall until you punched it, destroyed it. The kids are getting their ass beat by the clones, essentially. And they're pulling out some Matrix ass moves up in this movie. So the clone of Carmen is now the one that is name calling the human Junie.
Your parents were so easy to capture, and you're not any better. Poor little Junie, defenseless and weak.
But the human Carmen is the one that is now complimenting him.
Junie, don't listen to her. You're not worthless. You figured out how to get us here. You helped Floop realize he was good, not bad.
Which shows the growth of the real human characters here. Maybe it's kind of like when you put a mirror in front of you and you see yourself acting like that. Hopefully this will help improve their relationship. Junie wants to prove that he can outlast though. So he punches that wall too, and guess what?
Junie.
He breaks his hand almost. It's alright, Junie. That's just a part of Junie's personality. We expect this from Junie. And the electroshock gunball's back to save the day, baby. Hello, hello. You may say this was added late into the game just for ability to continue the storyline. I say it was planned the whole time. The humans try to lock the kids up with instant cement. Is it strong enough?
That should hold them. Let's go find Mom and Dad. Good idea. Mom! Dad!
Carmen, Judy, close your eyes. We don't want you to see this, okay?
Whoa.
I love those little moments too where like all the action happens off screen, because when the adults are beating people up, that's a little bit more real violence, so they do it off screen. But when the kids are doing it, we know that it's just a little bit more kid friendly. But it's time for the final showdown, baby. Are you ready?
Any ideas?
I think I got it. I'll take the 100 on the right. Ingrid, 100 on the left. Carmen, 100 center left. Junie, center right. It'll work.
It's 500 total, Dad.
He says we need one more person to really take them on, and then lo and behold,
Isidore.
Machete comes out and saves the day. Comes through the window. How does he get there? I don't know. But he's here to help, baby. And right before the fight begins, Floop is able to change the code.
Tear him limb from limb.
To make the children run up and go play with the bad guys, aka throwing them tens of feet in the air. The strength on those clones, bitch. Can y'all come like move for me? Y'all, I need y'all's help. So then Gregorio and Machete have this beautiful little moment about how they didn't even know why they were fighting, and the kids brought them back together.
For the same reason I left.
You know what? I don't remember that reason.
Neither do I.
It's okay.
And then we learned this from Floop.
So, what did you teach them?
You taught me. You won today, Junie. And not because you were the biggest or the strongest, but pure of heart and of mind. Now the robots have learned that as well.
That it was really about changing the heart and the mind, inspired by Junie.
There is something that we have to tell you.
Your father and I were secret agents.
No shit. No shit. Guess what, though?
We have something to tell you. We're secret agents, too.
The Cortezes, everyone. And then we go to our final scenes here where Junie is taking off his band-aids. No need for anymore. He's not the scaredy, puny Junie that he was in the beginning. And all of the spy kids are out here saving the day.
These children, and why are they so good at being good?
So I'm wondering if people are noticing there's like clone children, but they keep saying they don't know where they came from, so. The Thumb Thumbs have been helping out around the house a little bit, and we see that the brothers' relationship has been fixed. We then see Floop's TV show, Minion, as one of the main characters in there. Sorry, Minion.
Good morning, my children.
And Junie and Carmen clones are now the stars of the show.
Today, I'd like to introduce you to two new characters on our show, Carmenita and Junito.
The movie definitely sets up a sequel with George Clooney coming on as the head of the OSS.
Cortezes. An emergency assignment has come up in the Far East.
Letting them know that there are some more missions that need to be done. But joke's on them.
Whether we come out of retirement or not, that is up to us. And our kids.
Gregorio, Ingrid, I wasn't talking to you.
Me?
No, this assignment is for Carmen and Junie.
He was calling for the kids, and the kids have to beg George Clooney to let the parents come. Like, that is the whole full circle that I think I love so much about this.
You up for it?
Devlin, if you want the Cortezes, you take all the Cortezes, even Mom and Dad. From now on, whatever we do together. Spy work, that's easy. Keeping a family together, that's difficult. And that's the mission worth fighting for.
The ultimate quote, keeping a family together is difficult. And that is Spy Kids. I love this movie so much. There were so many things that were set up in the beginning that had beautiful conclusions at the end. Everything was really wrapped up and set up for another sequel too, which I think was beautifully done. This is a perfect child's movie. I don't care what nobody says, okay? And you can't hate on the final song in the movie because it's a bop. But all in all, that was Spy Kids. I think that I pled my case about how Spy Kids is an actual amazing movie, and if you disagree with me, you can get the fuck out. I'll send a thumb on you. Or let me know in the comments below what you think about Spy Kids. I'm interested to know if this helped change people's minds. I'm interested to know if you already came in here loving Spy Kids or if you came in here hating it. Don't forget to click like. Make sure you subscribe to our Mark channels. I'll be putting out a new commentary video every other Monday. With that being said, I hope that you all have an amazing day. Remember, stay true to yourself, but don't be afraid to kick some ass, baby. All right? And if somebody tells you a movie's bad, watch it for yourself and form your own opinions. My final thoughts. Have a good day, everyone.